When you think about courage, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably a superhero, right? Or maybe a soldier on the battlefield. Or even a lion, just letting out this massive roar. We usually picture courage as this big, loud, dramatic thing. But what if that's only half the picture? What if real courage is something else, something quieter? So I gotta ask you, does courage really have to roar all the time? Is it always about that one big heroic moment? Or could it be something else, something a little more everyday? Let's dig into that. Because you see, there's a whole other side to courage. It's not always found in the middle of some huge dramatic event or under the bright lights. Sometimes you find it in the stillness, in that quiet, stubborn decision to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So you've really got two ways of looking at it. On one side, you have that common idea we talked about, courage as this loud, heroic roar. But then there's this different view, courage as a quiet, daily voice. It's the difference between, say, a firework and a pilot light. One is a huge explosion. The other is a steady, constant flame. The writer Marianne Radmacher just nailed it with this quote. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Wow, that's resilience right there. It's the courage to just get back up to face tomorrow even when today was rough. That's a quiet strength that is so, so powerful. And Ernest Hemingway had another amazing take on this. For him, courage was simply grace under pressure. And think about that. It's not about who's yelling the loudest or making the biggest scene. It's about keeping your cool, holding on to who you are when the pressure is on. It's totally an internal thing, not just some big external show. Okay, so we have this quiet internal strength. That's our foundation. But then what? How do we take that feeling, that inner grace, and actually turn it into action? Because that's the next piece of the puzzle, right? Turning intention into actual motion. And you absolutely cannot talk about taking action without bringing up the one and only Muhammad Ali. He said, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." That's it, plain and simple. If you want to achieve anything at all, you have to be willing to take a risk. It's just not optional. So, if we know taking risks is the only way forward, the big question becomes, how do you get ready for it? How do you build up the confidence you need to actually step into that ring and take your shot? Well, the legendary speaker Zig Ziglar gave us a fantastic playbook for this. He basically said, you've got what it takes to win, but to be a winner, you have to do three things. Plan to win, prepare to win, and then expect to win. It's such a powerful mindset. It's not about just hoping for the best. No, it's about being intentional. You make a solid plan, you put in the hard work to prepare, and then you build that genuine belief that you're going to pull it off. But here's the thing, even with the best plan in the world, we all eventually get to that moment, that fork in the road. And right there, we face this epic internal battle, the cold grip of fear on one side and the heavy, haunting weight of regret on the other. There's a powerful African proverb that captures this just perfectly. A brave man dies once, a coward dies 1,000 times. Just let that sink in for a second. The pain of actually facing your fear, it happens, and then it's over. But the pain of backing down, of replaying that moment over and over, thinking about what you should have done, that's a pain that can stick with you forever. Or, to put it even more bluntly, fear is temporary. That feeling, that anxiety, it will pass. But regret is forever. That becomes a permanent part of your story. When you look at the choice like that, through that lens, the courageous path suddenly seems a lot clearer, doesn't it? So we've talked about that quiet inner strength, and we've talked about the will to act. But there is one last crucial ingredient that ties this whole thing together. Because courage and recklessness are not the same thing. True courage is always, always guided by wisdom. I absolutely love this next proverb. It says, even the lion, the king of the forest, protects himself against flies. What an image. What does that tell you? It means real strength isn't about just ignoring every little thing. It's about being smart enough and wise enough to deal with challenges, no matter how small they seem. Acknowledging a problem isn't weakness, it's intelligence. And that really brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. True courage is not being fearless. That's a myth. Everyone feels fear. Courage is all about what you choose to do when that fear shows up. It's about applying wisdom in the presence of that fear. It's knowing when you need to roar, knowing when you need to be still, and knowing when you just need to swat away the flies. So, we're back where we started. Forget about the roar for a minute. Tonight, as your day comes to a close, and you're thinking about your own struggles, your own efforts, just listen. Listen for that quiet voice inside. What's it going to say? Will it be the voice of courage, promising, I will try again tomorrow?